friends, I'm Whitney, and this video is brought to you by Urban Society. In this video, I'm going to show you the easy way to make a Lone Star quilt. If you've ever tried to make a Lone Star the traditional way, you know that it's not so simple. You're working with fabrics that are cut on the bias so they can easily stretch and distort, and you also have to work with Y seams, which is super tricky. It's quite difficult to be precise enough to get your points to match up. In this video, I'm going to show you a cheater method that takes the pain and frustration out of making a beautiful Lone Star. With this method from Quiltsmart, you can make 3 different Lone Star sizes. There's the little Lone Star, which makes a 19-inch star. There's the 38-inch Lone Star, which makes a baby-size quilt or a wall hanging. And the 58-inch Lone Star, which makes a throw-size quilt. The method for making each of these is exactly the same, you just need a different Quiltsmart interfacing for each one. So let me show you a few projects I made with this method. Using the little Lone Star panels, I made this scrappy star using a variety of Liberty fabrics and appliqued it onto the back of a denim jacket. When making this, I placed the fabrics quite randomly to achieve this scrappy look. I also have this little mini quilt that I'm finishing up. I'm in the process of quilting it with some basic straight line ruler work quilting. This is also using the little Lone Star panel. And for this one, I used 2 fabrics for the star, alternating lighter and darker purples to make this really stunning design. Then this is a Christmas tree skirt that I made with the 58-inch panels. For this project, I planned the placement of my fabrics to make this really beautiful design. As you can see, there is no limit to the number of projects you can make. And by varying what fabrics you use and where you place them, you can create so many different unique designs. The method used for making any of the 3 Lone Star sizes is the same. So I'm going to demonstrate using the little Lone Star panels. If you want to make the 38-inch Lone Star, you need the 38-inch Lone Star pack. And if you want to make the 58-inch Lone Star, you need the 58-inch Lone Star pack. But the method is exactly the same for all 3. We have kits for each of the 3 Lone Star sizes on our website. There are links below so you can purchase them from Urban Society. Each kit has the interfacing U panels that you need and a complete write-up of the instructions in this video with cutting details and everything. Ready to learn how to make a Lone Star the easy way? Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the supplies you'll need. Again, the key to this method is Quiltsmart's Lone Star interfacing panels. I'm going to be making the small 19-inch star, so I'm using the little Lone Star panel. You only need 1 panel to make the full star. A Lone Star has 8 diamond-shaped sections, so the little Lone Star panel has those 8 sections on it. If you want to make the 38-inch Lone Star, you'll need Quiltsmart's 38-inch Lone Star pack. And if you want to make the 58-inch Lone Star, you need their 58-inch pack. Now, for fabric, you need a selection of coordinating scraps. If you have a charm pack or a bundle of fat 8s or something like that, those will all work great for a scrappy looking Lone Star. If you want your Lone Star more planned out with a classic radiating design or something like that, you'll need varying amounts of each of these fabrics. Our kit has a planning sheet that you can use to plan out the placement of your fabrics and help you figure out in advance how much you need of each fabric. Now, if you're making the little Lone Star to applique onto a garment, like my denim jacket that I made, all you need is the coordinating star fabrics. If you're making a quilt, wall hang, or pillow or something like that, you'll need a background fabric as well. Finally, you just need regular weight, 50 weight thread for piecing, and that's it. The interfacing, fabric, and thread is all you'll need. All right, let's get started on our Lone Star. First, we'll prepare the interfacing pieces. Your Quiltsmart interfacing panel has each of the 8 sections of the Lone Star printed individually. We're gonna roughly cut around each one. So just carefully cut around just outside the outer dotted line of the section. Don't cut on the line, cut just kind of outside of it. Do this for all 8 of the sections. Now, this step is important if you're going to be making the little Lone Star to applique onto a garment. Take the garment or whatever you're putting the Lone Star on and determine how large your Lone Star can be. My denim jacket that I did here is a bit small, so I could not fit the whole Lone Star on it as it is printed. You can see that each section of the little Lone Star has 4 rows and 4 columns of diamonds. For this jacket, I originally made the whole Lone Star with all 4 columns and all 4 rows of each section. But when I got done, I realized it was too big for my jacket. So I had to cut off the outer rows and columns. You can learn from my mistake and avoid this by pre-planning. So take a couple of your sections and lay them out and see if it will fit. And if not, what you're going to do is you're going to stop after doing 3 rows and you're only going to do 3 columns, so it'll come out smaller. This will be more clear in a minute when we start sewing. Now let's prep our fabrics. All you need to do is cut your fabrics into rectangles. The size for these rectangles is different depending on which Lone Star you're making. The directions will tell you what size to cut the rectangles for the Lone Star that you're making. So I already have these cut out to the proper size for our little Lone Star. Now these do need to be quite precise, so take your time when you are cutting them. You're going to need a total of 128 rectangles for the little Lone Star and the 38-inch Lone Star. If you're doing the 58-inch Lone Star, you'll need 288 rectangles total. I'm going to go scrappy again with this Lone Star, just like I did on this jacket. So I need to just count up how many fabrics I'm using and divide 128 by that number. So if you've got 10 fabrics you're going to use, 128 divided by 10 is 12.8. Round that up to 13. You need to cut 13 rectangles from each fabric. If you are doing a 2-color design, like my wall hanging, you need 64 rectangles from each of your 2 fabrics. All right, now let's have some fun and build our Lone Star. This method actually resembles paper piecing a little bit, so if you've ever paper pieced, this will feel somewhat familiar. Take by one interfacing section and place it on your table with the fusible side, which is the bumpy side, facing up. Then take your first fabric rectangle and you're going to place it in the first section, right side up. The interfacing says start right down here in the corner. That's how you know where to place your first fabric. You're going to place the rectangle between the dotted lines here and here, and the right side, the right edge of the rectangle needs to be aligned with these 2 dots. So just like this. Just make sure it's on there straight and then press it in the center to hold it down. You don't need to fully adhere the whole thing. In fact, you don't want to do that, and you'll see why in a second. I like using this mini iron from Clover for this project. I was really skeptical about these little guys for a long time until I finally bought one and tried it. And I have to say it works amazing for this project. It heats up really, really well. I wasn't sure if it would be hot enough to do a good job, but it really does. I love this little iron for projects like this. We've got a link below to get yours from our shop. Okay, now take a separate fabric and place it right side down and at a right angle to the first square, lining up the long side of the second fabric with the short side of the first. So again, you need to be looking at those 2 dots, and you want to make sure your fabric is aligned with them. Also, this lower edge should be on the lower dotted line. Now, I do recommend putting a pin in to hold this fabric in place. But you're going to be sewing here at a diagonal. You can see that line underneath there. So you want to place the pin kind of higher up over here. So there is that line that you're going to be sewing on. Okay, so we're ready to sew. So I'm going to flip it over. And here's that row 1 line that we're going to sew on. You're going to go from dot to dot. I like using a clear presser foot for this, and I have the straight stitch plate on my machine. You want to use a small stitch length of about 1.8 to 2.0 and just go really slowly. There's also no need to backstitch. Okay, now that it's sewn, you can trim the seam allowance down like this. And this is why I told you not to press that whole first fabric down, because you would have to rip this up. So you're just gonna kind of come underneath these two fabrics, don't cut your interfacing, and just trim your seam allowance down to about 1/4 inch. Okay, now we're gonna fold that second fabric back so that you can see the right side, and press with your little mini iron. So what you want to do is press that seam really nicely, and also press a little bit of this fabric down onto the interfacing, again, just to hold it in place. Don't press all the way over here. We don't want it stuck down over there. And then onto the next one. You'll take your next fabric and place it right side down at a 90-degree angle, matching up the side of it with those dots and with the edge of the second fabric. Place your pin at an angle, kind of in this upper corner here. Flip it over and sew. So if you're making the 3x3 smaller version of the star because you're appliquing it onto something small, you would stop here and go on to the next row and do the same thing that you did in the second row. If you're making the larger full-size 4x4 star, we're going to add one more fabric on here, and that'll complete our row. All right, now we'll start the second row the same exact way you started the first one. Place a first rectangle down in this section. Look at your two dotted lines and your dots here for alignment. Place it in the first section. Quick little press to stick it down. And then your next fabric. So we'll just continue on this way until the whole 3x3 or 4x4 section is full. Now, once you have the whole section full in your 4 columns and rows, you need to sew the rows together. So all you're going to do is flip the first row onto the second one, and you'll see the dotted line needs to be on the fold exactly. Okay, it'll fold over pretty naturally because the break between the two fabrics is there, but you just want to adjust. If you can see a lot of your dotted line, you need to adjust it so the dotted line is exactly on your fold. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew directly on this solid line here from end to end. This is a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but what you want to do is sew on the line. Once that's sewn, you're going to then fold on the next line. Make sure it is folded properly with the dotted line directly on your fold, and sew on the next line. So I have sewn all of the rows together and pressed the seam allowance to one side. And look how beautifully my points all line up. If you do a good job of sewing directly on the line, your points will just match up so beautifully with so much ease like this. Now what we need to do is trim this down. So you're going to flip it over, and you're going to use a ruler and rotary cutter to cut on the outer dotted lines all the way around. Okay, so our first section is done. Now you move on to the next. Now, if you're making the scrappy version, at this point, I do like to start kind of planning my fabric placements, because if you're gonna have these two sections next to each other, you don't wanna start with the same fabric that you started with before, because I don't want two fabrics to be right next to each other. So at this point, I will kind of lay it out and kind of plan where I want my fabrics to go. And then you'll just continue on and make all 8 sections. Each one only takes maybe 10 minutes once you get the hang of it, maybe even less. So you can finish this whole thing in an hour to an hour and a half. Now, if you're going to applique this onto something, what you want to do before you sew the sections together is prepare the 2 outer edges of each section by folding them under and pressing. So flip it over to the wrong side, fold one outer edge over 1/4 inch and press. Okay, and then you're going to repeat that for the other outer edge. You're going to have some extra fabric at the corner that you can kind of just trim off. And now we can sew the sections together. So lay them all out in the order that you want them in and isolate 2 sections. Place them right sides together and clip or pin at the edge that is being sewn. Stitch directly on the solid line between the 2 sections. This is a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but again, you really want to sew directly on the line. You repeat this process and sew all 8 sections together, and there are no Y seams to deal with. Then to applique it onto a garment, you're just going to place it where you want it, pin it down, and I like to use a clear monofilament thread with a small zigzag stitch all around the edges, and you would make sure that your outer edges are folded under before you do that. Now, if you're not doing applique and you're making a quilt or other project that needs a background fabric, you're going to cut triangles from your background fabric, small and a large, and sew them to each section before sewing the sections together. Our exclusive kits have the fabric requirements and cutting instructions for doing this for all the different Lone Star sizes. So each section will get a smaller triangle and a larger triangle sewn to it like this. You'll sew the small one on first to this edge, and then the larger one like this. So you can see this section now becomes one of the 8 pieces of your Lone Star like that. Then the 8 sections are all sewn together to complete the Lone Star. And that's it. So fun and way easier than the traditional method, right? Go to urbansociety.com to get your Quiltsmart kit panel so you can make your own. Remember to subscribe to Society Studio for more project inspiration. Happy sewing!